in Geneva. The discussion aimed to revive stalled negotiations over Tehran's nuclear program, focusing on uranium enrichment limits and the potential easing of international sanctions amid rising regional tensions. Russia and Ukraine completed a prisoner exchange on Sunday, swapping 146 prisoners of war from each side, facilitated by the United Arab Emirates. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has confirmed the swap on Telegram, sharing images of smiling returnees reuniting with their families. Among those freed was former Kherson Mayor Volodymyr Mykolaenko, who had been held in Russian captivity since April 2022. He had previously refused to be part of an exchange to allow a seriously ill prisoner to be released instead. Let's listen into what he said about the prisoner exchange that happened between Russia and Ukraine yesterday.
Але дуже багато хлопців, і саме головне, що ми люди більше віці, і нам якось зрозумілося. Ми через багато що пройшли, чи багато чого пережили.
Потім є багато що вам розповісти.
А там молодь, вона ламається. Там настільки
є багато чого вам розповісти.
Головне завдання цієї російської влади знищити нас і фізично, і морально. І вони достатньо успішно це роблять. Дуже багато хлопців, ви знаєте, там і суїциди, і просто травмують. Я не хочу зараз цей святковий день.
These tearful reunions also included Alexander Nazarchenko, who was greeted by his wife and daughters after being captured at Chernobyl plant back in February 2022. Let's listen into what his wife said about him returning home.
Він 3,5 роки був у полоні, ми нічого про нього толком не знали, не бачили, тільки лист отримали. Один лист отримали. Мабуть, місяць тому отримали з Червоного Хреста, нам зателефонували, вони відправили на електронну пошту, а оригінал сказали, чекайте через місяць. Слава Богу, що листа ми не отримали, зато ми отримали тата.
This exchange of prisoners comes amid ongoing hostilities in eastern and southern Ukraine, with Ukrainian forces continuing to make gradual advances, while Russia maintaining heavy shelling in targeted areas. For this discussion, we are joined by Professor Jim Rice. He's a professor of international law, joins us live from Vegan. Thank you, Professor, for joining us again. Good to see you. Professor,
thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Professor, do you think that this POW was just symbolic, or do you think that this will continue, the POWs, like recent POWs and frequent ones?
Well, it's really hard to say whether it was symbolic or part of an ongoing process. The only thing I can say is it's encouraging to see one of the bright sides of this, horrific war has been the ongoing prisoner exchanges. And I would just, like to express my admiration for the mayor of Kherson, who delayed his own return to allow his comrade from the Ukrainian side to be released earlier. So it really just shows to me that the Ukrainians value human life and value their soldiers in a way that the Russians do not.
Yes, and do you think, now looking at UAE's role there, why do you think UAE is being involved in this crisis?
Well, I guess they've been more of a kind of an outside party that has been certainly a non-combatant party. They're not engaged in the conflict, and they've lent their good offices to the exchange of the prisoners, and to that effect, it's a good thing.
Thank you very much, Professor Jim Rice, for sharing that. Please stay with